Welcome back, everyone. This is Akinar here with more Sekiro, where we continue our Charmless Bell Demon New Game Plus challenge run. Last time we made it through Genichiro Ashina, we made it through the Folding Screen Monkeys, and we reclaimed the Mortal Blade, and we made it to the Guardian Ape, and we got the Lotus of the Palace. We've been making some good progress. Feels very good when you're able to make it through any boss in Charmless Bell Demon. And we're going to continue making our way here through the rest of Sunken Valley, make our way down to the Serpent Cave. And we don't need necessarily the Fruit of the Serpent, but I like getting all the things in a zone. There's something about being complete, being thorough, and getting all that there is to get. And we can also get a chance to use our green mossy gourd here, which almost never comes into play, but it feels like this is the time when you're supposed to use it. Put this thing to use as you're having to wade your way through here through the poison swamp. That really does help with the poison resistance, doesn't it? Not bad, not a bad option. But we've been having a lot of fun here with the New Game Plus challenge run, and we also recently had a live stream for those who did not get a chance to drop by. We had our first live stream, our first Sekiro live stream, as well as our first YouTube live stream, and it was a lot of fun. We did a lot of dying. We did a lot of dying to dear old dad. We were practicing the great Shinobi Owl, and we'll talk more about that here momentarily, but it was a lot of fun getting to see some of the faces or some of the names that I see in the comment section, and getting to say hi to you all in person live, and getting to get people's input and ideas, strategies on approaching the boss. It was a good time. And if you want to check it out, if you missed it and you want to check it out, it is in the playlist down in the Sekiro playlist, linked down in the description. But yeah, we were doing practice against Owl. We were doing practice against one of the upcoming bosses here, because we have made it this far into New Game Plus, but it's also you know, we are making it now into the later stages of the game, and I have recognized that with, first of all, one of the things I'm noticing here is that with Charmless Bell Demon, it takes a lot longer to kill these enemies because every enemy has a lot more vitality, a lot more posture to go through, and that is definitely the case with the bosses. The bosses, there have been a couple bosses so far in the earlier stages of the game, one of them being Corrupted Monk, that really put me to the test. I did a lot more practice against that boss off camera than I did on, but it was that boss that kind of made me realize this is going to be an actual challenge run. We are doing a challenge run, and there is going to be some getting good that needs to be done, because you have to refine your timings, you have to get your deflects on point. Pay no attention to me. Pay no attention to me, dude. Go back to what you were doing. Just chilling over there. And so knowing that a boss like Corrupted Monk was already a much tougher challenge compared to New Game, I figured that we were going to have, there was going to come a time when certain bosses that in the later stages of the game here were going to really be a headache. And one of those bosses is the Great Shinobi. In anticipation of that boss being a headache, that was the impetus for the live stream. I wanted to spend some time practicing the boss, but also, well, I guess what I'm ultimately getting at here is I'm trying to, you know, kind of share my thoughts on the rest of the playthrough, because there are a couple different things that we're trying to balance. On the one hand, we are doing New Game Plus, and there are new things to discover. We're in particular trying to go for a different ending, and we're trying to experience as many aspects of the lore and the story that have yet to be explored that we did not get to do in New Game. We're trying to do different things with different characters, experiment with their quest lines, get different bits of dialogue and flavor, do all our different happy hour interactions and dialogue that we missed. And then on the other hand, we are also doing a challenge run. We're doing Charmless Bell Demon. And the game is already very difficult, and then we're turning it up to even another difficulty setting. And now we're starting to get into the later stages of the game, where bosses like Owl and eventually Sword Saint, we've got True Monk as well. There are these very difficult bosses that are going to take some time. They're going to take a lot of... I already had kind of anticipated that with Owl. And so off camera, I had gone to do some practice with Owl just to see. I wanted to make some attempts in the Reflection of Strength and just find out what I was in store for. And I got absolutely creamed. It was not even close. I don't even think most attempts were not making it past 10 or 15 seconds. It was such utter demolition. And it was that made me, kind of realize, when I sit down here to record a Sekiro episode, I'm generally trying to do one episode per play session. It kind of makes sense to me that way. It makes, it's just kind of easier to do, and it feels more consistent that way. And when you've got a boss like Owl that is going to take dozens of attempts at least to get good, you're going to need multiple play sessions to make it through. I think it makes ultimate sense to have a live stream. I think that is where doing live streams can really help to break up the monotony of the boss grind. It is one part of I find it really good. I find it really useful to have people to chat with, to be able to kind of allow me to take a break mentally and physically from taking on the boss. And so I think that might be what we do. We might have additional live streams going forward to be able to practice, whatever bosses that we need to. I'm not sure if we're going to be going for the optional bosses. I did not realize that you were still there. The optional bosses like, we've got Headless Ape, we've got Demon of Hatred. I'm undecided yet on whether or not those are going to be part of this challenge run. But whatever we do decide, I think it makes a lot of sense to have boss grinds as part of live streams. So going forward, the pre-recorded episodes here might be more sporadic. There might be a little bit more time in between them because some prep work is going to be required in order to get ready to take on the tough bosses. We're gonna make the monkey dance though. Let's get you into action. Just a little dance, a little monkey dance. And I think that's a really good way to handle it. I think that is a good way for us to approach the rest of the playthrough. And we'll try to make it in here without dying. There we go. It just means that there is going to be a little bit more time between the pre-recorded episodes. But then it will allow me to kind of interact with you all and hang out with you all in a different setting. The live stream setting is also a really fun avenue to explore, and I think it makes a good complement when you're dealing with very repetitious parts of a game, and that includes a boss like Great Shinobi Owl. Wait a second, there is a grappling hook here? Hello? Where was this before? Did I not look up before when I was here? There is a grappling hook spot here. What the hell? And there's an item up here. And there is a passageway back over here. What the hell? Does that lead over here? To this item? Yes. Hey, there's more Divine Confetti. All right, cool. Divine Confetti, I could maybe just... We're starting to get so much Divine Confetti, and I don't know what else to spend my Sen on. So maybe we could just throw Divine Confetti on the action bar permanently. Wait a second, there's more to this. What the hell is this? How did I miss this before? What? What the fuck? No way. No fucking way. This is where this goes? Or where it connects to? What? Oh my god. Okay, so it was an exit. There was not... We're not supposed to get into this little cave or tunnel from this side of the poison pool, but it fucking connects to the poison pool. Are you kidding me? That is insane. How did I miss that? I guess I got the Fruit of the Serpent and then I never looked up. And that's all it takes. You just don't look up and you don't see the grapple point. Oh my god. Well, there's one mystery. One of the unsolved mysteries in New Game Plus that we were hoping to resolve. And so that's good. Okay, excellent. Well, okay, that brings us here back to the depths, and actually, maybe this is good. Maybe this is actually perfect, because we're now right by Headless Ape. I was talking about Headless Ape, and I wasn't sure whether we were going to be taking on the optional bosses, but maybe this answers my question, since we are literally right here. Now, I am close to a skill point, so I'm going to need to do a little bit of grinding. But I think maybe we'll give some attempts against Guardian Ape, or Headless Ape, because that is another boss that we did practice during the live stream. We did a little bit of practice just to break up the monotony of grinding against Owl. And I have some ideas on how I've also practiced that a fair bit off camera. I should mention the follow-up here. Let's go ahead and warp to the other, idol. What was I going to say? I was going to say, I forgot to say about that live stream with Owl. The one thing that I was hoping to do was to get a victory. I wanted to get a single victory against Owl, and we weren't able to do it during the live stream. It was just a lot of dying over and over and over, and we were not able to get that one single victory in the Reflection of Strength that I was hoping for. And the same thing went for Headless Ape. Headless Ape was not a boss that we were able to prevail against. However, I did some additional off-camera practice after that stream, and I have now managed to get one single victory against both the Great Shinobi Owl, which felt very good, and I also have a victory against Headless Ape, which also felt very good. So I have an idea, I have some strategies and an approach that I think is going to bear some fruit. And that should bring us to our next skill point. There we go. So let's go ahead and make our way over here and see about Headless Ape. I will quickly rearrange my items. Let's go ahead and take these off. And let's put on our Akos Sugar. I did also quickly go and buy a bunch of Akos Sugar, which is now being sold by Oniyama. I don't remember if he added that when we sent Kotaro to him, but that's a nice pickup. I am trying to use Yashiriku's Sugar in more spots, as I have been seeing, you know, watching some videos here and there. I think I did see a video of Headless Ape where somebody was using Yashiriku's Sugar, and I still don't feel perfectly comfortable with it, but I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with the idea that hey, giving yourself that extra attack power and ending the fight quicker is not a bad way to go. What we're going to do is we're going to equip. Now, I had seen also somebody had demonstrated in that same video the fact that you can use the umbrella against the Headless Ape. The big scream when it puts its head back on and the scream of terror, you can actually block that with the umbrella. Not just the apparition umbrella, but you can use like the normal magnetic umbrella, which is pretty cool. but also not necessary, and it does use spirit emblems. And also it's another thing on your bar that you kind of have to switch between. And as I was trying to work on this fight off camera, it was maybe a little better for me if I was just to simplify and go with a more straightforward lineup. Because the other thing that does work well against the Headless Ape, as we saw in the Guardian Ape fight, is the spear. The spear being able to pull that move off where you've done the big deflect and then pulling out the centipede does so much posture damage. It is insanely good. And that is kind of the key to this fight as well, I think. We also do, I think, want firecrackers, because sometimes we want to be able to stun the mate when the mate comes in phase 2. So I think those are the two prosthetics that I want. And I think I also want to use, because we are spending some spirit emblems on those, I think we can also work Ichimonji. Ichimonji might have become my new favorite combat art. It seems to be so good in boss fights in particular. It is just really useful, and it doesn't spend spirit emblems. So I think we'll go with this lineup. We'll try to put some sugar on at the beginning here, and we'll see how that goes. Let's get our spear out and make a run for this and see if we can take on Headless Ape. And there's a couple different approaches that I've seen for phase 2. One of them involves like really burning down the mate quickly with firecrackers. I am not good at that. You have to be very quick with the firecrackers. You have to be like up in her face, and you have to be able to dodge whatever attacks are coming from the Headless Ape. For me, the strategy that I found that worked better was a more slow and steady, just focus on the Headless Ape and do just enough to either deflect or stun with firecrackers the mate, and not worry about killing her at all. Just focus on killing the Headless Ape. We'll see how it goes. Let's get in here. Let's get our sugar going, and we'll go for it. Headless Ape time. We'll see if we can hopefully take you down without too much trouble here. That one I always have trouble deflecting properly. Always have trouble against that one. There's something about the timing there. I think I'm always a little too quick. What are you doing? I see. That was better. Okay. That does end with one of these. That sequence does lead to a big... Oh, I forgot I was going to do Ichimonji there. That's where I was going to do Ichimonji. We'll try it here, though. That's pretty good. I think the key thing that I was realizing while doing this fight is maybe it's similar to a lot of other fights where it's okay to be a little more passive. You don't have to be like completely balls to the wall aggressive. Just kind of focus on doing deflects at the proper time, and then I didn't do that correctly. I was supposed to jump forward and do the Ichimonji, but it's okay. So that phase, not too much trouble. We'll reapply our sugar here, and we will look to try to keep our attention focused on the big boy, but we're gonna have to do a little bit of deflecting against the mate. But the thing that's nice about that move there is he does follow it up with the big... I didn't deflect it, though. Getting the deflect on his big overhands, I don't know, the move where he winds up really big. If you can get a deflect on that, that's like the key to the fight, because you get to do the spear move after you deflect them. Too early. That's a good place to stun, to try to stun her. Oh, I forgot that there's a follow-up attack there. So I need to be ready when he does the scream. That's when we want to switch over to firecrackers and stun the mate. And maybe I'll have those out by default, but here's where we want the spear, because we want to be able to do this. Now, she follows up with a slam there when you do the spear attack, and I sometimes can get the deflect, other times not. But I like it when you jump in the air, because if we just jump over the sweep and then we get ready for... Fuck. I was not ready for her to do a slam. So here we'll switch to firecrackers. And we just kind of basically ignore her. I'd like to do a pellet. Don't want to get trapped in the corner here. Lost track. I was realized there that she was out of camera, which is not a good idea to lose track of the mate. Got to keep track of both of them. Got the deflect there. Nice. Whoa, that sweep goes so much further than I thought it was. I thought I could outrun it. Give me the big deflect. No, why did you not go to the big deflect? Let's be ready for firecrackers if we need them. Now we switch to the spear. Get ready for the deflect. Somehow she did not connect with me. I don't know how that happened. Let's recover our posture a little bit here. This is going pretty well, though. Let's just stick with the plan. Too late. I thought I had a drink. Apparently not. Getting a little nervous here. I wanted to get a drink there. Fuck. Not close enough. God damn it. That was a little bit more of a wild sequence. Just keep ignoring the mate. I want you to go into the, there you go, there you go. Last one, can we make this the last one? Nope. Oh, I had the death blow there, and I went for the spear, which actually was the wrong move. All right, hold on here. Shit. I don't need... Now his posture's kind of recovered. Come on. There we go. There we go. Let's go. Awesome. Hell yes. That was a first try of the day on Headless Ape. And the mate just kind of goes over and sort of the spirit resigns itself to the fact that the battle's over. Okay, hell yes. The practice paid off. I did so much off-camera practice in addition to what the little bit that we did on the live stream. And it paid off. Getting that one single victory and getting comfortable with the reflection. I really do think that the reflections of strength are more difficult than the in-game version. It feels like they have a lot more posture, vitality that you have to work through. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know for sure. But that feels great. That feels great. And then we get to do the real coup de grace here and finish this for good. Mortal Blade time. Still one of my favorite moments in the game. Being able to really do in the centipede and sever the immortality. I remember the first time doing that. That was so exciting. Excellent. Okay, well that is... I was nervous. I was nervous going into this fight because they have been so much of a challenge. Working through these reflections, getting good, Charmless Bell Demon, all of it has been kind of stressful, if I'm being honest. So that's just to kind of give a little bit of more explanation as to why there may be some gaps, or there may be a little bit more of time, a little bit more time that elapses between episodes, because there is some getting good to do. There is some nervous energy that I have approaching the game sometimes when we're doing this sort of a challenge. But I also want to see it through. I like the idea of being able to say and have the bragging rights that I beat the game, that I beat Sekiro Charmless Bell Demon. Long ways to go still, but getting that win there is a great way to start our episode here. So let's go ahead and enhance our attack power up to 22. Let's cash in the Headless Ape memory here. All right, attack power 22. Let's go ahead and rest. Now, the other thing that we can do here is we have Shichimen Warrior, which now I have learned even something more. I have learned something else with Shichimen Warrior. Let's go ahead and put Divine Confetti on the bar. Let's put our Divine Confetti, and we'll also get our, we'll get both of our Terror things here just in case. However, actually we'll just do this one. We'll just do the modeled purple gourd. But the thing that I have learned, first of all, we have learned the last time we faced Shichimen Warrior, Divine Confetti makes the fight so much easier. It is an absolute game changer, but it's a game changer in another way. And the other way that it is a game changer, one of the mysteries, one of the head-scratching moments from very early on in the playthrough was coming across the Shichimen Warrior in the abandoned dungeon, and the game giving you this message about the anti-air death blow, and me being very puzzled about it. Me being very puzzled as to why exactly is the game telling me about the anti-air death blow against this thing? Because I tried, wait a second, where is it? Wait a minute. Where's the Shichimen Warrior? What? What the hell? Well, okay. Why is there no Shichimen Warrior here? Do I need to travel, like, away? But either way, the anti-air tech, apparently you can only use it if you have enabled or activated or applied, whatever word you want to use, Divine Confetti. Divine Confetti is what allows you to connect with your anti-air death blow, which we have never gotten to use against anybody. And I want to see if we can do this against the Shichimen Warrior. However, there it is. Okay, maybe I just needed to leave the zone. Just completely zone out. So it should be... The Shichimen Warrior should be there now, hopefully. Okay, here we go. Shichimen Warrior is here. I thought I might have done something wrong for a second. Just needed to zone out. But yeah, let's see if we can get this anti-air death blow to work. So what we'll do first is... we will go ahead and start the fight. First and foremost, we'll start the fight. And then, do we have a place to kind of... There's really is no cover from the orbs here at the start, so we just kind of need to run around in circles and dodge this first wave of attacks. And then we will apply our Divine Confetti, question mark. And we'll try to catch you in the air. That's what I want to see. Try to take to the air on me. Try it and see how it works out for you. Jump around, buddy. Jump around. Go ahead. It's okay. Try it out. I don't know what we can do to induce him into an attack or into jumping. I feel like we probably have to be further away. I don't want you doing this move, though. Okay. First time I'd seen him pop that move out. I guess we'll just go to town on you and try to get you into moving around. since you don't seem to be doing the jumping move on your own. See, now you're jumping when you're on the other side of the map. You stinker. All right, well, if you're not going to jump around, we're just going to start laying into you. There we go. Oh, fuck. He was not in the air for long. We do so much damage, though, with Divine Confetti. We almost don't even have to wait for... We really don't have to wait for him to do the jumping. It's just more fun, I think. If we can get that, I'd love to see it in action. Regardless, I do love the fight the way it is with Divine Confetti because it's so much less annoying. Nope, come back here. God damn it. Of course my Divine Confetti runs out now. Okay. Too early. He's in the air for such a short amount of time. Come back here. He jumps away. Where did you go? Where did you go? Do you know Cotton Eye Joe? Dang it. I feel like he does a jump that keeps him in the air for longer. But he doesn't seem to want to do it. So I don't know. I need to probably drink here at some point. You are so close to dead, though. So close to dead. Okay, well, unfortunately, we did not get to try out the tech, the anti-air deathblow tech that I wanted to do, but he didn't seem to jump around. We couldn't get him to do the jumping around, so there you go. All right, well, another Shichimen Warrior bites the dust, and I'm so glad that fight is as trivial as it is now. Goddamn. I hated that fight before realizing that Divine Confetti was a thing. So that has maybe been the most important discovery of New Game Plus. But yeah, that honestly feels amazing, though, to get that quick of a win today against Headless Ape. It's just the nature of Sekiro, the FromSoft games, Hollow Knight is another one. All these games have this thing in common where you're working on a boss, a very difficult boss, and you're just, you can feel sometimes like you're not even coming close, and it's just gonna take forever. Are you ever even going to get a victory? And then you keep practicing, you keep putting in the reps, and then you come back and like first try it one of those days. How many times have we seen it happen? Headless Ape is the most recent example, but Corrupted Monk, it happened. It kind of happened with the Gauntlet of Strength. Eventually, you just kind of get it, I guess. But, all right, we are ready to head back into the castle here. Ready to head back in. The invasion has begun. The first stages of invasion, at least. The Red Guard. The Red Guard, as well as the Lone Shadows. And, of course, the Great Shinobi himself. Oh, yeah, this guy running around. I forgot that you're running around in fear at all the events. What is going on here? Let's see if we can mind control you, though. Do you actually help us out against this guy? what you do is you let us get the backstab, maybe, against him. There we go. But you also get the friendly fire. I always forget the fact that the friendly fire comes through even when you've got the mind control. But we'll be making our way through the castle. I think I had said before, I think as we were talking about the different things that we're gonna need to do here in New Game Plus in order to get a different ending, and I have had some good help and research done by my brother and Pro Mod, who is also the guy who helps me out with all the ending screens, the thanks for watching, and all the cool graphic stuff that you see on the channel. But he's helped me with some spoiler-free guidance, a spoiler-free list of things that need to happen in order to get a different ending. And we had thought originally that one of those things needed to be, as I quickly get my carp scale here, one of those things was supposed to be an eavesdrop between Isshin and Emma. But apparently, upon further review, it doesn't look like that is necessary. It looks like all we need to do is go and fight Owl and make the same choice that we did before. Stay loyal to Kuro and what? There is a bunch of stuff to do after that. There are a bunch of things to do. Wow, that music was a little bit jarring. I thought for a second we were under attack. The music is so foreboding, I'd forgotten how tense the music is when you get to this stage. But there are going to be a whole bunch of things to do that involve different bits of dialogue as we progress into the post-Owl set of events. I'll try to keep this other guy helping me as much as possible. Although he comes after me as well. I thought we were tag teaming here, dude. I thought we were on the same side. There we go. Now he's helping me. And I can't spam you down. These guys are tough. The red guard guys are no joke. And that is definitely the case when it comes to Charmless Bell Demon. It's part of why I put the golden vortex on the bar, because I may need to resort to just a little fan action. So for now, we'll just kind of keep making our way here through and see if we can make it through without too much trouble, using as many stealth tactics as we can. I want to go over here as well, and or we can get a plunging attack on that guy, couldn't we? Oh, he comes from up there. Oh, I see where this guy is. You are up on one of the ramps. Nice. I have no reservations about using every single piece of Shinobi tech possible to make my way through here. Especially when we've been after doing that live stream and all the different boss grind practice sessions, it feels so fun to be able to go back into the other really cool aspect of the game, which is using all the stealth techniques. Now there should be more than one of you, or is it's just you maybe? So we can get the plunging death blow on you. Or not. I do see the other guy. I was gonna say, I remember there being more than one. Oh, there's actually 3 of them. Gosh, so many. So I want to definitely use some blood smoke if we can. Didn't have to, because this guy's just typical Sekiro AI. Just, you know, friends getting casually, you know, stabbed in the back, blood spraying everywhere, never notices. So we did get our next skill point here, and now would be kind of a perfect time to go straight for Owl, because I do want to kind of re-explore the rest of this. But we have done this before. It's not exactly new content, and it's stuff that I can maybe do on my own. So maybe we'll just head straight for Owl and see what we can do. Now, with that said, even though based on the research and the information that has been provided to me, even though it seems that Isshin is not a the Eavesdrop with Isshin and Emma is not a required thing in order to get a different ending, I still am curious to check with Isshin. I'm curious to actually just see what he might say if we go to him first. So maybe we'll run around. We'll do a quick run around here, and let's actually run and get the save point. The save point that is over, that is right by the antechamber. The save point that is literally called antechamber. If I can get the grapple points here. And then we go up here. And we'll just lock this one in. So we'll lock in that save point. And now, can I make my way... It does allow me to grapple to the upper levels in the roof. So this is one way to kind of... an alternate way to get into the owl fight and the upper part of the castle here, even though I think normally, when you first come here and you're working your way to the Genichiro fight, I don't think that grapple point is available. But let's see if we can make our way to Isshin here. Okay, interesting. So Emma is already here. Emma is already here. There is an Eavesdrop. I'm not sure if we would want to Eavesdrop first or if it makes any difference. Let's just go ahead and get the Eavesdrop. Oh, is Emma not in the know about the Tengu? That is a really fascinating bit of interaction between them. First of all, you've got Emma saying that she's worried that the Tengu will make another appearance. Does she not know that Isshin and the Tengu are the same? Is the mask is not on the wall. The Tengu mask is not hanging up there like it was before. Or is it that she knows that Isshin is the Tengu and she's worried that it's like an unhealthy part of him, like it is this alternate side of his personality, or you know, kind of like Bruce Wayne becoming Batman or something, where she sees it as an unhealthy obsession or channeling of his energies, which are already very much depleted at this late stage of life. He also mentions that he can only swing the blade a few more times, talking about Genichiro, and I think the Black Mortal Blade. He can only swing it a few more times, and then the Tengu will be no more. What is that a reference to? I don't know if I quite understand that. We know eventually how the Black Mortal Blade works. We know that it is meant to create a gateway, create an opening that allows, I don't know, the reincarnation of Isshin to sprout forth. I don't know if he had to die first. Is that why he's dead at the end of the game? Because otherwise his spirit or the stronger form of him from his youth is only able to reemerge because he himself has actually died. I would assume that Genichiro killed him in order to accomplish that. But then Emma also says that there's the other one, Sekiro. Maybe that's what this conversation is about. It's about who's going to stop Genichiro. And right now, the Tengu is the best option in their minds for challenging and stopping Genichiro. But in reality, there's the other one. Maybe that's what it is, because he's going to kill Isshin, aka the Tengu. But there is the other one, you mean Sekiro. He's a sullen sort, but I can't say I detest the lad. In truth, he fascinates me. So maybe that fascination is about, hey, this guy can actually take on Genichiro and really put an end to all this. I really like that. That's very cool to think about. Now let's see what they say in person. Don't worry, I totally was not just standing outside listening to you guys. I don't think you always listen to Emma. I think between you and me, we know that you are not staying here the entire time. Let's see what Emma has to say. Yup. Mm-hmm. Okay, no other direct dialogue really that is of much interest, but that eavesdrop, very, very curious. And there is this this chest is here. Okay, the chest shows up at this stage of the at this stage of events with the castle. So we already have our black scroll here. I don't know if there is something to be done with this black scroll. We can try talking to them again just to be sure, see if they make any mention of this. But it doesn't look like it. Okay, no different dialogue with either of them from picking up the black scroll. So with that, why don't we go ahead and take on Owl? I'm a little nervous about doing so, but we have done a lot of practice. We've gotten in a lot of reps against the great Shinobi. We can quickly readjust. I already went and switched over to Ichimonji double, but we're also not really going to use prosthetics. One other suggestion that I had after the live stream was to save our spirit emblems for the second phase and then switch over to Mortal Draw. We have not done Mortal Draw too many times because I had kind of thought of that as this special ability that you're supposed to use against like the undead or the undying enemies. But it turns out that that is actually just a really good combat art that does a lot of vitality and posture damage. So what we will do is we'll switch to, we got a fair amount of sugars. So we'll go ahead and put the sugars on the bar for now. And I think we'll just go with this as our kind of simplified setup. So let's get into it. I'm a little nervous because I'm also a little nervous about my checklist of things that I'm supposed to do. But I think all of those things that we're supposed to do come after the owl fight. So for now, I think all we have to focus on is taking out your old dad. This is still not clear to me though. This is maybe the big question that is unanswered about Owl is, how did we get to this point after we left him for dead in Hirata Estate? What happened between then and now? It could be just as simple as he really wasn't as hurt. He wasn't really as hurt as he made himself out to be.
お主も流因に見入られたか。話すことはない。去るがよい。
I do also wonder if there was a, you know, a connection between him and Lady Butterfly. Was Lady Butterfly working with or for him? Because she had kind of kidnapped Kuro, right? So maybe they were in league with each other to kind of take the dragon's heritage for them, for themselves. Owl is so cool, though. And this game is so cool. I love this view. There's some pretty good looking spots in the Fountainhead Palace, but there is something about the fact that the game returns you to this arena multiple times. It's really cool. It was my design. But the same can be said for you. I was certain that you died that night. That dialogue now, I don't know if I had realized it before, but he just mentioned that I was sure that you had died that night as well. Why else would he say that if he wasn't the one to stab us in the back? I feel like that is kind of the simplest Occam's razor explanation that fills in the gaps and makes the most sense. It really is just as simple as Al wasn't really dead, and he in fact, maybe he even lured us in, right? Maybe that was part of the plan. Why would he need to lure us in, though? In order to, if Lady Butterfly had already kidnapped Kuro, if they already had the dragon's heritage in their grasp, maybe we were the only obstacle that had to be taken care of. If Sekiro, if Wolf was not dealt with, then he was going to come for Kuro eventually. And so they needed to take us out so that they wouldn't have to worry about us down the road. And that was the whole plan. Maybe. Not too sure about that, but I think it's pretty clear. I feel like it's pretty clear that Owl is the one, the mysterious stab in the back suspect. He's the most likely suspect in my mind. We are going to break the Iron Code once again. I'm just going to double check my list here, because things in a FromSoft game, screwing up these sorts of dialogue choices. When I first did this, I was not aware of how consequential of a choice this actually turns out to be, because from what I understand, there is even another ending that can be explored by forsaking Kuro and obeying the Iron Code, and that is something that I'm interested to do on the next New Game Plus, which I will probably do on my own. But for this playthrough, this is the one that, without me really knowing, it's always hard to make these decisions without knowing exactly what's going to happen. I can't really say, from my perspective, what ending I think would be most fun to share with all of you. So I am going off a little bit on what my trusted advisors and the feedback that I have gotten from some of the people that I know best regarding this game, which means we're going to do this choice, which is the first that we have to do on our list of things here. Stay loyal to Kuro. Compassion, Dan's game. It will be interesting to check that other choice, though. Like, Do we go through this fight? Can you just completely bypass this fight if you make that other choice? Don't tell me yet. No spoilers. But I'm curious to know. Eventually. This is one of the best parts. Absolutely love this. The way this scene, this cutscene is set up. Love it. Love it. Oh, Kamiyo. All right, let's get our sugar. Switch over to our sugar real quick here. And let's get into it. Let's see if the practice reps have paid off. That's the move that we want to see, because it allows us to do an Ichimonji. Allows us to get a good Ichimonji in there. Also, the stomp move that he goes for is something you can actually take advantage of. If you don't safety roll immediately, you can actually use that to your advantage. It's also nice when you can deflect the kick. Now these exchanges can be a little bit dangerous, because if you miss one of your deflects, it can get you in a lot of trouble. But I do like the flow of the fight. I do like the flow of getting these deflects going, and we are dealing posture damage to him. It feels like they are generally positive exchanges for us. Well, and then that happens. So that is one downside, right? Because we are also racking up our own posture damage. And if you do get your posture broken against Owl, it's no good. I was a bit lucky there. And then you got the firecrackers, which is another one to be able to run around behind. Okay, now this is where we want to take a moment. So that was a nice, smooth first phase. The practice reps are definitely paying off. If you checked out any of the live stream footage, that was a rarity. That happens so infrequently. But man, practice really just pays off. That's really all there is to it. We're gonna switch though. We're gonna switch to the Mortal Draw. We're also going to take our Tonto to give ourselves more spirit emblems. We're going to take a Tonto. And we're also going to drink. And we'll take a sugar as well. And now we'll be ready to use Mortal Draw. Which does a shit ton of vitality damage. My goodness. Gosh, that does so much. And there are lots of good openings to do it. Basically the same openings that you would use your Ichimonji against. And he's already at half vitality, which is just great. Wow, and he's almost out of posture as well. Dude, I swear, the reflections of strength are so much easier. I'm sorry, strike that and reverse it. The reflections are so much harder than their in-game counterpart. They have to be, because there's no way that practicing made things that easy. I mean, of course, there's a way that practice makes things that easy. Are you kidding me? Oh, that feels amazing. That feels amazing. I also feel much better about getting this first try compared to the Corrupted Monk, where I did so much of my practice off camera. This time, having the live stream, having the documentation of all of that dying against the Great Shinobi Owl, and those of you that got to check that out, and put yourself through that torture, you see, finally, the fruits of that paying off here, where we take down, on the first try of the day, Charmless, Bell Demon, Great Shinobi Owl. Fuck yeah! Yo, I am so pumped from that. I am so excited about getting that win. And that now gives us the Aromatic Branch. Plucked by Wolf's father, the Everblossom is a Sakura tree, and as such is ripe with nostalgia. Takeru would likely gaze upon this branch when once it bloomed, reminded of home. Awesome. So freaking awesome. I love it. 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 A great suggestion. A great suggestion there to use the Mortal Draw, because my god, that thing just shreds. He was just after... We didn't even get through all the way through our Spirit Emblems. No, I guess we did. We're down to 1. But that basically did it all. The Mortal Draw did all the work. What the fuck? Wow. I'll take another attack. Power enhancement. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. The Great Shinobi Owl's unbridled ambition was to obtain the power of the dragon's heritage. Now is the time to let one's true name ring out across all Japan. All for the sake of this ambition. Yo, what an awesome game. And what an awesome, rewarding feeling it is to go through. This is why we do challenge runs. This is why you do things where there is so much frustration and so much dying and what feels like losing over and over, but you're not really losing unless you fully give up. Otherwise, all of that dying against the boss grind is just part of the process. It's just slow and sure progress, building in those mental muscle memory connections. Okay, great. Awesome. Perfect way to start things. I will get a rest. Let's go ahead and rest. And now, the next step here, I think, is to exhaust the dialogue between both Emma and Kuro. Grab our other idol here. But we want to talk to both Emma and Kuro and get their dialogue progressed as far as it will go. So, oh man, I am so excited from that. I am so freaking excited. Now, why is this busted? Was this busted before? Wall hug, I see. Did this just get destroyed at some point and I never noticed this the first time around when we were doing New Game? What the hell? That's a funny detail that I never saw. All right, Kuro. We first tried. Are you proud of me? And of course, this is where the Mortal Blade comes in, right? He found it in Genichiro's chambers. So it was something that Genichiro knew about. And maybe why he went to go get the Black Mortal Blade. Lady Tomoe, without it, your blood cannot be spilled. What could she be referring to? I wonder. Just divine air things. Just need to figure out how to make me bleed. Okay, so we've exhausted Kuro's dialogue. Let's talk to Emma. With Mortal Blade in hand, my blood may be shed. Wound the divine air. See, I initially read that as like we're just gonna give you a little paper cut. So we do have the option to burn the incense, which maybe that is what we have to do, but let's try to exhaust all their dialogue first. I think we have to do the incense no matter what to get to Fountainhead Palace, right? Okay, so that is the extent of the dialogue with Kuro. Let's just check with Emma one more time. Nothing new here. Okay, so nothing new with her, and I think now the next step is to burn the incense. I'm just going to double check my list. Actually, let me try resting and see if there's anything new that happens. If we rest, does that change their locations or anything like that? I feel like that Kuro is waiting for us to do the incense. And we have to do that, right? So let's go ahead and burn the incense then. We do make a that's right, there is a paper cut or shallow cut that we do in order to make the incense. Close your eyes, don't look. I'm gonna be indecent for a second. Just a small cut with this mortal blade that basically just completely kills you, even if you are undying.
Minamoto no Miya. Takeru-samaが書き残されていた通り、そこから戦況に通じているのだろうな。その源宮への生き方だが、
かぐわしく腰入れ立てまつる。香りの石が置かれた祭壇にそう書かれていました。
そなたは源の好機をまとっている。 岩戸の奥の腰に入れば源宮への道が開けるだろう。
This is all stuff that we have heard before.
頼むぞ。
So maybe I will skip through some of it. Although we're at the end. Okay. So now let's try exhausting the dialogue here. So nothing new with Kuro or Emma now. Let's rest and see if anything changes. Kuro is still over here, although he is in a slightly different position. We lean so close to him. I hope he's all right. Was he thinking about Wolf? Is that who he was? He thinking about us? I hope he's unhurt. And this is where we get the sweet rice ball. Okay. Wolf senses it was crafted with feelings of resolve and a reluctance to part ways. Such deep emotions tend to be mumbled to oneself rather than shared. Maybe that's what it was. He was thinking about us. If so, that is so sweet. As we have the sweet rice ball right in front of us. Let's make sure there's not an eavesdrop, potentially, with Kuro. No eavesdrop from behind any of these walls, or maybe from back here. Doesn't appear to be. No, wait a second. There is an eavesdrop. Aha. Wow, okay, that is such an easy one to miss. I don't think... We had gotten several different eavesdrops when he was over here in the library. But this one, you have to be at this specific spot here. You can't just be behind these paper walls. Okay, let's check out what we've got. We're almost there. Do what must be done. We're almost there. Do what must be done. I think that is one of the lines that I have been told that you need. You need to get to the point where he says, do what must be done. It feels like he's kind of talking to Wolf, even if, I don't know if he knows we're listening, or if he's just sort of wishing this kind of out into the ether. Wolf, I hope you're out there. I hope you do what must be done. So the next thing is that we should now be able to rest and get Emma to change locations. So Emma does move. She should be now up at the top of the stairs. I want to check your dialogue one more time, but I'm guessing it's going to be the same. We're now at this point with your dialogue. Do we have another eavesdrop, potentially? There is another eavesdrop, so there are multiple to find here. He's so strong. I wish I was just as strong. Are we talking this time maybe about Genichiro? He's so strong. So these are like little thoughts, little musings or worries that Kuro is having, that he's talking to himself about. All right, Emma has moved to the top of the stairs. Let's see what she has to say. Oh, he's repeating the words that we heard. Right?
解釈という言葉がありました。おそらく解釈とは流因の巫女の命とともにその不死を断ち切ること。なんだと。このまま不死立ちの道を歩まれるならば不思議りで黒様。巫女様のお命を絶たねばならぬ。はい。不死立ちこそが黒様の望み。それは承知しています。ですが、狼殿。
There has to be another way, right?
殺さぬ道がないものでしょうか。
流因は常ならぬ力、そのような道もあるやもしれぬ。
ならば、狼殿、九郎様を殺さぬ道、それを共に探ってはいただけませぬか。
And we're presented with another choice here. And I think looking at my list, we are supposed to agree with her that Kuro cannot be allowed to die. So this is, wow, a really obscure set of eavesdrops, dialogue, eavesdrops that lead to dialogue. I'm just thinking through how easy it is to miss that eavesdrop. But we have here now another alternate or alternative to the Immortal Severance, which is what we explored the first time through in New Game, where we had the Divine Child, who found a way to take and return the dragon's heritage to its rightful place in the West. But that still was a scenario where Kuro kind of ends up losing his life anyways, or I might need to think more about that, because maybe, or even like rewatch that ending, because maybe he doesn't actually die, right? Maybe he's, or at least not dying in the sense that he's gone forever, that there is still a part of him that exists. There's a lot of interesting things to think about here. My overcomplicated speculation mode is getting engaged here. But now we have another potential way to change things. But let's agree that Kuro cannot be allowed to die.
Miko-sama wa shinasenu.
ありがとうございます。
手がかりを探らねばな。
はい。そうか。巴殿の狼殿。私に一つ心当たりがあります。調べを進め、分かったことがあればお伝えしましょう。
ああ。
それからこのこと。
巫女様には伏せておく。
はい。
Okay. Yeah, definitely no telling Kuro. we'll keep him in the dark, keep him on a need-to-know basis for now. But she mentions Lady Tomoe there. Lady Tomoe, because she was on that note, the note that we got about the beheading, right? Oh, there is some new dialogue here. Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. He's just a boy. Let him have a normal life. Now, with that said, I am curious to see if there is any new dialogue here, but I think you're just going to keep saying the same stuff. Yeah, okay. Need to know basis. Let's rest. But I think now Emma should head somewhere else. I don't think she's going to be here in the castle now. My understanding is, well, no, she is still here, huh? Oh, she is back. Okay, so she's done her research. Okay, maybe I misread my notes. Because my notes did say that Emma was going to leave the castle and that you need to find her somewhere else. But that maybe is not the case. Because just a quick rest, and now she has Tomoe's note. A note written in Tomoe's soft handwriting. Lord Takeru's coughs are worsening still. Returning to the divine realm is hopeless, and I wish only to sever the dragon's heritage and restore his humanity. Restoration requires the Everblossom and Immortal Blade, and yet I cannot acquire the latter. It was hidden by the High Priest of Senpo Temple, who has no desire to sever the immortal ties. Well, we have that part of the equation. And I believe, do we not also have the Everblossom? Or is the Everblossom the full Sakura tree that's in the Divine Realm? Because isn't the Everblossom part of the Divine Dragon? Or the Divine Dragon is part of the Everblossom? Isn't that what we see in the Divine Dragon fight? I might have that wrong. I was kind of guessing that that was the Everblossom. Not sure though. Purification. Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me. Need a flower from the Everblossom. Not just the branch that we got from Owl, I guess. Right. which I presume to be Owl. Oh, it's just been entirely lost, so it's not even in the Divine Realm? So what are we going to do if the flowers don't exist and the tree doesn't exist? The branch will work. I mean, I already have that right here. Are you talking about this? Are you sure?
どうした?
床桜があった頃のことを思い出そうとしているのですが、どうも記憶がおぼろげなのです。お二人のお墓を。
何?
Their graves.
床桜の後にあるタケル様と巴殿のお墓を。
Oh, that's who's buried there.
何か思い出せるかもしれません。
Holy shit. So she's going to the old grave. And that's where Lord Takeru and Lady Tomoe are buried. So I had guessed, I had speculated that that was where the Everblossom used to be planted. Because it had that little fencing there that looked like you might have had a tree there before. But I had no idea that that is the actual gravesite of both Takeru and Tomoe. That is kind of mind-blowing. And that's where she's going to head. Okay. Absolutely fascinating. There are some details to fill in. We need to know how to use the mortal blade, and we got to iron out this part about getting the actual flowers. But it would be great. It would be absolutely fantastic if we could find a way to get Kuro to have a normal life. I was a little worried at first when she started talking about beheading. I thought, are we really doing the right ending here? But I like where this is going. I like that we are trying to find a way to truly free and save Kuro. I hope it's possible. No Eavesdrop this time. Let's do another rest. Now I'm guessing this time Emma should leave. Emma should be gone and she would be at the old grave. Yep, so she's taken off to the old grave. Now I have not thought at all to check with Isshin or the sculptor. Maybe let's do that now. It feels like we're progressing things and we're doing what we're supposed to do, but just for the sake of my own curiosity, I do kind of want to check with them in addition. So let's quickly check in here with the Tengu and see if there is anything. We've got that Eavesdrop. Now this is the Eavesdrop this is the one about the mortal blade, right? Yeah. Because this is when he's by himself. And then... Oh, okay. We might have had this before. I think he's talking about Owl. I've been listening, my dude. Hesitation is defeat. I know this. Okay, so just that little bit of extra from Isshin. Let's also check with the sculptor. I'm really excited about this, though. Really excited that we have this potential way to get perhaps the truest of endings. The one where Kuro doesn't have to be sacrificed. Something tells me there's still going to be some strings attached. Emma is here. So she did not go directly to the grave. That is really interesting. I'm going to check look at my notes here. So there is a last step here that talks about Emma relocating again. I think one of the steps is Emma should now leave the castle to do some research. She will be somewhere that isn't guarded by a boss fight. I think what that step is referring to is the fact that she's at the old grave, which we have not gone to yet. Then the next step says that Emma will relocate again. Find her and eavesdrop on her and whoever she is talking with. That looks like that might be with the sculptor. So let's go and head around back. And hopefully, because we're doing this maybe a little out of order, is this okay? Okay, so because I am a little unsure about screwing up the order here, the list that I've been given technically has this, I think, this as the last step, and that I'm supposed to do the old grave first. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe I can do them in whatever order, but we're going to head to the old grave and do that first, just because I technically have it listed higher on my, first on my list. So let's go there and take care of whatever needs to be done. Now, I have not technically freed up the old grave, so I do need to make my way back down there, but that shouldn't be too bad if we go from the top of the castle. Just need to drop down here. Not a big deal. Lock in that warp point, and then head over here to a gravesite that is much more consequential than I realized. And I see the sakura petals there in the bowl, which may have been there all along, but I'm not sure I noticed them. Lord Takeru and Lady Tomoe, though. We had to break her out of her little trance there.
何か思い出せたか。
いいえ、あいにく何も。
何もか。
はい、思い出せずすみません。私の古い友ならば、その頃のこと、何か覚えているかもしれません。あれでらで、少女ができます。
Orangutan. We know that nickname, Wolf. Did you forget? We've done that eavesdrop. Oh shit. Oh wow. This was their little spot. I love those little elements of flavor where they're hinting at a part of the story that is this really deep emotional memory. A much happier time, it sounds like, when they were all, you know, just sitting around dancing under the sakura tree. So much more to the story that is never, only the briefest of hints are given in these bits of dialogue that most players could go the entire game or just never even see. So easy to miss. But let's head back to the temple now. I don't know if we had to do that in that particular order, but it at the very least gives a little bit more of a makes sense why she is there with the sculptor or orangutan, and she is here immediately. So let's try the eavesdrop first. I think that is what my note said here, is that we want to do the eavesdrop first of all. Does that sit well with you? Talking about what we're trying to do with the Immortal Severance. Either he or Kuro must die? Oh shit. Why does that have to be the only way? So will you keep that from them? Oh my god. If I give this to him, he's going to die. What? Whoa. Okay, so while we might be able to get a happy ending for Kuro, it sounds like not such a happy ending for us. Okay. We are Wolf, though. If you give Wolf the choice, I think he's gonna take it up in an instant to say, my life in exchange for my lord's is an easy bargain. Because Wolf is just like that. So now what happens if we talk to her about this? This sounds like more of the normal dialogue when she just shows up here, which maybe it does have an ask about what you overheard. Okay. We do want to do that. One of us must die. Oh, shit. Yeah, we heard. We heard what you were talking about. Oh shit. Whoa. Those made immortal by the oath of the dragon's heritage shackle their masters. To break the shackles, the oath-bound of the dragon's heritage must die, aka Wolf. She didn't have the mortal blade, and so she could not sever her own immortality. Oh, so we have like a choice to make almost? I might need to review a little bit of that last bit, whatever she said there, but I think we have to keep asking about... We have to get the full story here. But this is really... there's a lot to think about with this. But yeah, Lady Tomoe apparently served a similar role to Lord Takeru that we served to Kuro. And the same way that Kuro has shared his dragon's heritage with us and we are able to resurrect, a similar connection must have been between Takeru and Tomoe. And so Tomoe tried to sacrifice herself in order to spare Lord Takeru, but she didn't have the mortal blade. That is really a big revelation. That is crazy. Wow. Ask what she is hiding. Let's find out. He sounded kind of angry there. Father's bell charm. A bell charm previously owned by the owl. The owl held this bell for a long time, offering it at the dilapidated temple may result in seeing a different memory than before? What? There's no way of knowing why this protective bell exists. Perhaps the owl kept it for himself, or perhaps he meant to give it to someone. What? We have another bell charm? Just like we were able to get to Hirata Estate using that other bell charm, there's something else that we can do, or another memory for us to explore. Whoa. I had kind of wondered about this Buddha statue and Hirata Estate. When we initially went to Hirata Estate, I figured that this was going to be a pretty common mechanic throughout the game. I thought that the idea or the process of going to a memory via a bell charm was going to just happen regularly. You know, we were going to make it through a couple more zones and run into some other NPC that was going to give us a bell charm, and then that's how we would unlock the next new zone, is it would be a memory. But we only ever had Hirata Estate. And it kind of puzzled me. I thought maybe this was something they wanted to do more of, but they couldn't figure out how to do it, and it just ended up being Hirata Estate that made the final cut. But maybe there's more that's been hidden this whole time? I'm getting excited. How did we not find this? We were too enthralled in doing the Shinobi execution. A different experience than the one you had before. What does that mean? I want to see immediately what this thing is going to do. This is kind of nuts that something like what are we going to find? An entirely new zone? We have to see. I'm getting ahead of myself thinking about what it could be. We have the Father's Bell Charm. Holy shit. I want to check it out, but I also just want to be thorough and make sure we're done with the dialogue. It looks like we are. Wow. Does the sculptor have anything to add to this? A true wolf. This looks like this is all the same as before. So nothing really new from the sculptor. Okay. Let's look at this dial or the description on the Father's Bell Charm. May result in seeing a different memory than before. What does that mean? There's no way of knowing why this protective bell exists. Perhaps the owl kept it for himself, or perhaps he meant to give it to someone. To us? I see there's a feather there. Okay, we have to check this out. We have to see. Father's Bell Charm? Yo, this is so exciting and also just insane that this is one of those things that you could... We're back at Hirata Estate. Something different than what happened before. Something that is maybe what actually happened? Oh, he's not there. Or at least he's not in the spot where we had seen him before. What are we walking in? What is going on here? Whoa, who is that? Oh, Lone Shadow Masanga, the Spear Bearer. Whoa. Whoa. Holy shit, there is a fight here. It's not the fight that I would have expected. I was like, are we gonna get like a different fight with Owl? Oh my god. Okay, I was totally not prepared for this kind of a fight. We need to drink, and I need to we're going to equip some shuriken here. God, I need to get somewhere where I can like breathe for a second. Shuriken are not, well, no, they're fine. They're fine. Shuriken are fine. I really should be doing death blows or deflecting them, right? Dang, that needs to be a fucking Makiri counter that I've never been able to learn. Now, this guy, this Lone Shadow, have we not fought him before? I feel like this is a guy that we have fought. But I don't remember exactly where. Like, is he one of the guys that is in... Huh. I might need to look at some of my previous fights to remember. Okay, we need to get into fighting Lone Shadow mode. But the thing that was throwing me off there was the dogs, right? The dogs were just kind of this extra variable that I was not ready for. Let's see if I can take out some of them here, though, with the... Well, he comes in so quick. Where I lost track of the other dog. I'm doing way too much running here. I should not be doing this much running. I did the Makiri counter, yes. Does he keep calling dogs? Does he have infinite dogs to come to his rescue? Wait, what was he doing there? I have the Mortal Blade still. He does have more dogs that he can call. Shit, that's not good. I didn't want to have more dogs. I didn't want you to have... Oh my god, I'm dying to the fire. What the fuck? Okay, there's a whole nother... I can see there's an enemy over there. There's an enemy over here, as well as an item. Holy shit, let's grab this. Fulminated Mercury. There's like an entire other section here. Where am I going? What the fuck is going on here? Wait, this is the other part of Hirata Estate. What exactly is happening? Because this is where we fought what's his face, right? This is where we fought who am I thinking of? The Glutton. This guy is still coming, or this is a different guy. This is a different Lone Shadow. Well, we have the entire circus that we brought along to the fight. What in the hell? What in the hell? This is crazy. So there's an entire alternate version of Hirata Estate. An entire different version of things here. Dead again. So that guy did not de-aggro. I just wanted to explore for a second. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. I'm losing my experience from the owl fight, but it's whatever. It's whatever. Because right now, there is so much to digest and figure out. So as much as my curiosity is piqued, and I am so excited to learn more about what is going on here, this is where I'm going to have to wrap up this installment of Sekiro, because we're just out of time for this recording session. But also, this feels like something that kind of deserves its own episode, potentially. There was so much that we were running through there. We already have one mini-boss. Who knows what else there's going to be to find at the end of the area? Do we have maybe another boss altogether? Is Lady Butterfly going to be there? Is Owl going to be there? Are we going to find out exactly who stabbed us in the back? Was it Owl? Was it somebody else altogether? So many questions, and we'll be digging into that. I can't wait to find out. I am very excited about how this episode turned out. We got the victory both against Headless Ape and the Great Shinobi Owl. Both of those fights were such a headache and took so much practice in the reflection to get good at. And it paid off. The fruit was there, and it feels so good. I'm so excited to get those victories under our belt. And now they have hidden an entire new area, an entire new set of events that you could just totally miss and never find if somebody didn't tell you or you didn't go look it up. Because, you know, That's a FromSoft game. That's Miyazaki. That's what he likes to do. Like, this is an entirely new mini-boss here. And I'm just wondering now, is this maybe where we're going to find another prayer bead? We still have 3 prayer beads theoretically to find somewhere. Is this one of the ones that we missed? What else is going to happen? I literally cannot wait. I don't know. I might record later today just because I really want to find out what's going on here. Whatever happens, we will find out next time. Thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.